Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and updates from around the world. We have a lot of ground to cover, but first, let's start with a developing story that's been making headlines over the past few days. A devastating earthquake has struck Venezuela, leaving widespread destruction and chaos in its wake. According to reports, two powerful earthquakes hit the country within a minute of each other, causing buildings to collapse and trapping people under the rubble. The epicenter of the quake was in La Guaira, just north of Caracas, where rescue efforts are currently underway. Authorities have blocked access to the area, allowing only those with official permits to enter, as they work to distribute food and water to those affected. The situation on the ground is dire, with many people still waiting to hear from loved ones who were in the affected areas. Nazareth Jimenez, a resident of La Guaira, was seen sobbing as she waited for news of her siblings, nephews, and nieces who were trapped under the debris. She pleaded for machinery capable of moving collapsed structures, saying, "We're making a call for help to the government and countries across the world. There are still people alive in there." The country has been experiencing economic disarray for over a decade, and many people reject the legitimacy of the current political movement. International rescuers have arrived on the scene, bringing much-needed resources and expertise to the affected areas. 861 volunteers from countries including Mexico, the U.S., El Salvador, Switzerland, and Colombia are currently working in Venezuela, with more on the way. The U.S. has also sent medical resources and humanitarian aid to support the relief efforts. As the situation continues to unfold, our thoughts are with the people of Venezuela who have been affected by this disaster. We will continue to bring you updates on this story as more information becomes available. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're taking a closer look at a disturbing story unfolding in Thailand, where an Australian man has been arrested and accused of murdering a 17-year-old girl and attempting to flee the country. According to reports from Thai media and authorities, the suspect, identified as 46-year-old Simon Peter Carman, was apprehended at Bangkok's Suvarnabhumi airport on Friday evening. He was allegedly trying to purchase a flight back to Australia when he was intercepted by police. The investigation began after the girl's friends reported her missing, prompting Pattaya City Police to launch a search. CCTV footage appears to show the girl entering an apartment complex with a foreign man, later identified as Carmen, in the early hours of Thursday. The same footage reportedly shows him dragging a large black suitcase out of the building and loading it onto a motorbike about 15 hours later. Tragically, the girl's body was found inside that suitcase, abandoned near railway tracks approximately 4 kilometers from where she was last seen. The circumstances surrounding her death are under investigation, with Thai authorities alleging that Carmen was involved in her murder and attempted to conceal her body. It's essential to note that Carmen has denied any involvement in the girl's disappearance or her murder. The Australian Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade has confirmed that they are providing consular assistance to him, as is standard procedure in such cases. This case serves as a stark reminder of the importance of thorough investigations and the need for justice to be served. As more information becomes available, we will continue to follow this story and provide updates. For now, our thoughts are with the family and friends of the victim, who are undoubtedly going through an unimaginable ordeal. It's crucial that we approach this story with sensitivity and respect for all parties involved. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we close out today's show, I'd like to shift our focus to the world of commodities, specifically looking at the latest developments in wheat and soybean markets. According to recent reports from Yahoo Finance, both wheat and soybeans are experiencing a weaker start to the day on Friday. Let's begin with wheat. The wheat complex found some late-session strength to close mostly higher on Thursday, but it seems that momentum hasn't carried over into Friday. Chicago SRW contracts closed the Thursday session with gains of 4.5 to 5.5 cents, while KCHRW futures were up 3 to 5 cents in most contracts. However, open interest dropped significantly for both, with a decrease of 1,584 contracts for Chicago SRW and 7,152 contracts for KCHRW. Export sales data released this morning showed that the USDA sold 504,489 metric tons of wheat in the week of June 18, which is 25.86% above the previous week and nearly double the same week last year. Mexico was the top buyer with 204,400 metric tons, followed by Japan with 118,700 metric tons. Moving on to soybeans, they're also facing a weaker start on Friday after closing higher on Thursday. The July contract closed at $11.27.5, up 18.75 cents, but is currently down 5.5 cents. Nearby cash was $10.79.75, up 20.5 cents. The world soybean production estimate from the International Grains Council remains unchanged at 442 million metric tons for 2026/27, with stocks left at 76 million metric tons. For 2025/26, stocks were adjusted upward by 1 million metric tons to 79 million metric tons. It's essential to note that market fluctuations can be influenced by a myriad of factors, including global demand, weather conditions, and geopolitical events. As such, investors and traders should remain vigilant and adapt their strategies accordingly. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.